fellow gamers out there, we have made it past 2024. Give yourself a round of applause. This has been a very, it's been a year, we'll say. And you know what? You know how like a lot of people, they like, you know, go on and they do some like stupid speech about like, oh man, 2025 is going to be your year and it's going to be this thing that you're going to do. It's going to be great. There's some YouTuber does like some 10-minute video about like that kind of stuff. Well, here on the Crispy Bacon channel, dog, we have fully engulfed the black pill. People always start the year off positive and nice. Well, I'm gonna start the year saying that we're actually cooked, okay? That's how we're ending 2024 and starting 2025. By me saying we are absolutely cooked. And I'm gonna give you guys all the evidence that I've I'm such a terrible person. If you guys haven't been on Twitter in a while, well, you guys are probably like normal functioning adults, probably have like, you know, all your stuff together, your mental health is doing okay. The joke is that Twitter is like a cesspool down under where it's nothing but just like degenerates. Everybody a degenerate, dog, no matter what your political position is. But if you guys don't know what's been going on, there's basically been this meme that's been going around since October of 2015. And that's this Sun article here. Basically, it's a picture of a link, an article saying, we'll be having sex with robots in the next 10 years. And then the picture representing it, they have like this robot that looks like the, you know, the robot from the movie that's like, no. This was released in like 2015. There's actually a little side tangent here, just like a really quick one. But when you actually go and try and find that article, apparently they changed it a while ago. So here you can see, this is clearly a year later, right? You can see this is June 30th, 2016. And it said, revealed, women will be having more sex with robots than men by 2025. So I don't know what happened. They must have took down that original tweet and replaced it with this one because you can't find it anywhere. But if you guys don't know this iconic image, this is an icon right here. Basically, if you look at any news regarding robots and the development of robots coming forward, if you scroll in the comment section, there's probably a 100% chance that you will see a screenshot of this image in there somehow, some way. So these are two conflicting images, but we're gonna go with the original prophecy, okay? This is the original prophecy. Now, since this image has been posted, robots have been getting more into the public eye and are kind of a talking point of this actually becoming a reality. And considering that celebrities are starting to get a hold of these kinds of robots and show them off to the public, it doesn't seem like it's something that's out of the cards of happening anymore. This seems to be the future that we're coming to, and it's coming really fast. Keep in mind, there is an entire anime about this already, about like a dude who gets a wife, but the wife's a robot. So this mindset has already infiltrated the weeb circle, which is a bad sign. It's bad. It's not good. Now, I'm going to explain later, but there was a point that I watched that got me into this gigantic rabbit hole of like robot stuff. And I feel like I've only scratched the surface with this, but I wanted to kind of talk about this because this has kind of been on my mind for a little while. And I just thought may as well make a video on it. So we're going to kind of go over kind of the development of these bots and kind of come to the conclusion, is this going to happen in 2025? Are we cooked as a society and we're going to start having sex with robots? Put your predictions in the chat below before or don't. You don't have to do that. I'm sorry. Now, I wanted to start off with kind of the most recognizable bots. The ones that when I say robots being developed, it's the forefront of your mind. And that is the Tesla bots that's spearheaded by everyone's favorite deadbeat father, Elon Musk. Let's give him a round of applause, everyone. Let's give him some golf claps. As you may or may not know, Grimes is currently in a custody battle with Elon over their 3 children. What you probably don't know, however, is that Elon has been illegally and continuously keeping her children away from their mother during the most important developmental period in a child's life. That's a reference to a video I made if you guys want to go check that out. Now, they're not actually called Tesla bots. What they're actually named are Optimus humanoid robots. Now, they've been in development for years now and have only just started to kind of show off to the public only a couple years ago. Now, they actually had developed a prototype back in 2022, but it seemed that the things that it could do were very limited and was far away from being as impressive as Elon would gas it up to be. And there were even people that called the whole project a scam due to how unremarkable it was. And this wasn't just from average people like me, but it was also AI experts in the field that weren't impressed at all. A researcher named Philip, I'm not saying that last name, it even sat there and called his robots full self-driving technology. He actually went ahead and tweeted, "This Tesla AI day is next level cringeworthy. Complete and utter scam. Who on earth believes this bull anymore?" I do. Now, it wasn't a good pitch back then. People weren't buying it like at all, and it had people believing that we were probably not as far in the era of robot that we think it was. Now, we as the public didn't receive many of these updates, and if you weren't like completely fixated on this technology and were autistically following it everywhere, then you probably didn't know what the heck was going on. Elon Musk did in 2023 reveal a major update at a shareholder meeting in Austin, Texas, but other than that, we as the public didn't really get much updates, right? Now, flash forward a couple years to 2024, there was actually a lot of developments that were kind of shown off to people at that point. Elon made sure to post things of it being able to do things like folding a shirt back when the year first started, all the way back in January 2024. But once again, people had their little peepers on and actually had pointed out that this was remote operated and not fully on its own. And then Elon replied to this tweet what I assume is some kind of damage control. So here you can see him say, "Important note, Optimus cannot yet do this autonomously, but certainly will be able to do this fully autonomously and in an arbitrary environment. Won't require a fixed table with a box that only has one shirt." Which is interesting because I feel like it's pretty clear that he wanted to hide it and make it more impressive than it really was. But when he got caught, he just had to admit that it was remote controlled. I mean, why only say this when you've been called out if your whole point was kind of to show the potential of what it could do in the future rather than what it can do now, right? Now, there were probably other times where there were major updates on the robots, but it was officially reintroduced and announced to the public in like a big format in October 11th, 2024 in a We Robot event. And this event was not only robots, but they also showed off things like the cars that Tesla are making and other stuff like that. So these are kind of the things that are showing off. So you see there's the Robo Taxi, which is hail your car and use it for as long as you need to for errands, commuting and more. Then you have the Robo Van here, which I don't know how I feel about this. And then of course you have the Tesla bots right here. Once again, this was basically an event to show off the latest technology that Tesla had been working on for as long as it has been, right? When it presented the Tesla robots to these things, it showcased them in this little like runway thing, like they were on some like dress to impress action, basically doing kind of like runways and photo shoots and whatnot. Now Elon, and by proxy Tesla, would introduce these Optimus humanoid robots as things that would help with everyday chores and basically as the future, alongside other projects like the one I showed you guys on the website. And this event led to a lot of clips going viral just because of how improved the robots seemingly were. I say seemingly, and we'll get to that in a bit. You had 2 Chainz talking to the robot at some point.
"Hey, I'm Optimus."
Man, I'm finna do such a f***ed up episode of Black Mirror to you.
"What do you mean?"
First thing you get delivered in my house, I'ma beat the f*** out of you, man.
Huh. Did you know that I can be used for lots of other things? Like, you can teach me how to play a new card game.
I'ma make Elon put a hole in your ass, and then I'ma
All right. Very average, normal conversation, everyday conversation you have with the homies. There was this one Optimus bot that was like pouring a drink for somebody, like they were running like a bar thing. It was displaying doing casual conversation with people that had the chance to do it. And there were some high profile people there, obviously. And one of those people was actually Marcus Brownlee, who was actually playing charades with the thing, which was actually insane, I'm not gonna lie. And I think he put it best in this tweet here, where he says, "Playing charades with the Tesla Optimus bot last night. This is either the single greatest robotics and LLM demo the world has ever seen, or it's mostly remote operated by a human. No in between." Now, considering that Elon has tried to do this stunt before with the thing that I presented before, where it was like doing the fold in the clothes, but then it turned out it was remote operated, then he had to admit it later on. This could be another instance of that. And the claim here, and what a lot of supporters are gonna say, that all of this is autonomous and there's no controlling whatsoever going on with both its speech and movement. But I can definitely see why people would be skeptical of this. At the event, there were apparently claims of people controlling the robots going on. I mean, come on, look at this right here. Look at what I'm about to play for you guys. Once again, if it is really doing all of this by itself, that is scarily impressive, I won't lie. And definitely a huge leap in development from what we had back in January of 2024. And I think until the public can get their hands on one of these things, I think this will always be a thing that'll be questioned by people. And it should, once again, considering we started the year where it had to be remote operated to do things like fold clothes. And now all of a sudden it can play charades and catch balls and show them off that they caught the ball. Like, that is really suspicious, let's be completely honest. And And now Tesla is actually selling the human robot, though at least for now, it's not the life-size bot that was showcased at the event and that Elon started talking about years ago, but instead they're basically letting you pay $40, which is very reasonable, by the way. I thought it'd be way more, for one that's like a 7-inch tall toy. This to me kind of looks like that black and white dog robots that were around like years before.
For ages, the dog has been man's best friend. We want to introduce you to man's new best friend. Meet Chip. Chip is a robotic dog that's much more than just a cool gadget. Chip is an interactive pet that's there to greet you at the door.
Fun fact, actually, when I was a kid, I used to own this bulky robot that was like, it was basically like a national treasure to me because I thought it looked so sick, and I would like use it. It was operating for like years and years, and I think I might have like broke it or something, or I never put batteries in it or something, and I had to kind of move it by myself. But it was still a fire gift. But don't worry, gamers, because Elon has pretty much projected that the humanoid ones are going to be available pretty soon. Although obviously it's going to start out in low production and whatnot. Tesla will have genuinely useful humanoid robots in low production for Tesla internal use next year, and hopefully high production for other companies in 2026. So once again, if the insane development is true and the robots are able to do the things that they did at the event self-autonomously, meaning they're able to do it by themselves without someone having to control them, that's some pretty crazy development, I'm not gonna lie.
We've made a massive amount of progress with Optimus in a short period of time, from someone pretending to be a robot dancing in a suit, to a pretty hodgepodgey robot, to a robot that is actually doing useful tasks in the factory today. So we have 2 Optimus robots in our Fremont factory that are doing basically this task, which is taking cells off the end of the line and placing them in a shipping container. And yeah, we actually have quite a few of these cruising around our offices in Palo Alto.
So 2026, we're apparently going to start seeing these really ramp up. And I guess we'll see if we'll get something like that robot anime I was talking about. Or Detroit Become Human. Samples. Now, keep in mind, this is just in America. Places like China and Japan are a lot more advanced in the technology of using robots in everyday life. In fact, Japan already has a cafe that is robot automated, where they're kind of there as workers and stuff.
What's up, guys? Table for 2? Table for 2? Ego dekimasu ka? Table for 2? Guys? Okay, don't just act like you don't understand what I'm saying. Like, come on, guys. So this is what the future looks like.
This robot is taking us to the table right now.
This place is automated by robots. This cafe is run by robots.
Look, there's a robot literally taking this guy's order over there.
This is so crazy, dude. Japan is on another level.
So they're already kind of getting introduced into everyday life in Japan and whatnot. But I specifically wanted to focus on China for a little bit, because while doing research for this whole thing, man, did I notice some crazy investments that they've made on robots too. This isn't just the Harley farting situation is crazy. This is actually an insane situation that we're talking about. The robots in China are so advanced that when they were asked to arrange bread and fruit, they both recognized the voice command and then proceeded to follow through and actually do it. I'm not sure if the Optimus bots can do that.
No.
And China in 2024 has actually put out the first full-size general purpose humanoid robot that apparently supports multimodal mobility. Apparently it was unveiled at the World Artificial Intelligence Conference and managed to do things like performing desk cleaning tasks and accurately following the staff's voice instructions. We have released the full stack technology related to human robots to the public as open source, including the brain, cerebellum, and limb technologies. Yeah. China got it, bro. And it's not only the autonomy that's vastly over the America Tesla bots, but they've gotten to work on how the robots look too, making models that look insanely realistic. There was even this video that went crazy viral where you can see a robot waiter that's serving food at like a hot pot restaurant. Once again, it's not perfect, but the fact that they're doing things that waiters in China would do, like greeting people and stuff like that's kind of unnerving, guys. I'm like, am I just the only one here? They also have robots that legitimately look and move like human beings, and it's kind of weird to see them getting produced in the lab where they're created. And you can see that in a video where it kind of shows the behind the scenes and them getting produced in the lab.
我们的机器人员工已经开始量产了。
Guys, I'm not even kidding when I say this, but the first time that I was once again doing research for this, when I saw the dude in the white tee, I actually for a second thought that that was a human. That's how insane the look of these robots are. They have the face mask good, the arms are there, and they move really naturally too. And also keep in mind, this was back in the summer of this year when they showed the robots at the World Robot Conference, where their robots apparently surprised attendees with how realistic things like the movement and appearance were. So I think it's safe to say that Elon Musk currently is getting super mogged right now. According to X Robots, it apparently takes them about 2 weeks to a month to produce one of these high-tech robots. However, the prices are insanely expensive, with it going for more than $200,000, which is a lot of money. Almost being able to compete with my college debt. Not exactly there though. So I've kind of shown you guys some of the crazy stuff that I was kind of able to see. And once again, this isn't even going that deep into it. It was just like basic surface level things. But obviously, where there's new technology that can be shown off to people, there's influencers who get said technology to show off to people. And a couple of influencers and celebrities have gotten a hold of some of these robots and have introduced them to everyday life, which I think is personally kind of big. I think that one of the most recent examples of this that I can think of is actually Kai Cenat. Yes, I'm doing a robot video and we are unironically talking about Kai Cenat here, okay? Now, back when he was doing his Mafiathon 2 back last month, he featured about 5 or 6 different robots that he apparently got for $50,000. Now, these robots were doing things like folding clothes in his closet, helping him brush his teeth, and drying his face with a towel, alongside a bunch of other shit throughout the subathon that he did.
Yeah, with a J, this one with a J. Georgiana.
Now, obviously, especially with what the robot was doing and saying, it turned out that the robot was, surprise, surprise, actually controlled by someone else the entire time. Which is like, duh. The robot did an entire speech by Kai just playing the inspirational music that he normally plays with other people that get in his stream.
I am proof of what's possible when you reject limits and pursue what others say can't be done. So chase your dreams relentlessly. The future is yours to shape, and I can't wait to see what you build. Type shit.
Type shit. And like, I know AI is he said type shit. And like, I know AI is advancing at a very rapid pace and all, but if you thought this wasn't remote control, you're smoking bath salts, like genuinely. Either way, regardless of it being a bit or not, it was still really interesting to see that there was even a point where he just straight plugged 1X Technologies and said that these robots will be in the hands of everybody's home soon enough.
When challenges come, let them remind you that your path is yours alone to carve. And while it won't always be easy, every step will be worth it. As for me, I'm embarking on a journey of my own, commissioned by 1X Technologies. Soon, Neo, the next generation of humanoid robots, will become part of homes everywhere.
Now, I'm not sure if this was just an idea that Kai personally had and he went out of his way to actually buy all of them, or if this was actually a deal he made with 1X Technologies, that these would be placed in his house at some point and would be a constant ad, basically. Not sure myself, but I can definitely see the latter being the case. Keep in mind that Kai had one of the biggest and most anticipated subathons ever, with there constantly being hundreds of thousands of people there. So if this does turn out this was a deal, it would be very smart of them to do something like this, since Kai is basically showing off the prowess of the robot over an audience of over 100,000 people. Now, I didn't just want to bring this up to just talk about the ones on Kai's subathon, because as I said before, these are remote controlled robots. These aren't like self-autonomous or anything. But as the robot said, this is a robot that came from 1X Technologies and nothing to do with Tesla or Elon or anything. And apparently it's actually an earlier model of the technology, because now they released a better version called Neo Beta, which is actually bipedal and not on wheels like the ones on his streams. Kai had was called an Eve industrial humanoid, which according to his description on the site itself, does say it can work autonomously using AI and can do simple things like open doors and move through areas without it being remote controlled. So it still is impressive, all things considered, but don't expect it to be saying type shit by itself or anything. While doing research for this video, actually, I didn't know that there were so many companies releasing these type of robots and doing these kind of ads. You would think there would be maybe like 4 or so different types that can make this happen, but no, there's actually quite a few. And honestly, I've probably only scratched the surface when it comes to this.
A robot like this could one day take over your household chores. Meet Neo, a humanoid robot powered by artificial intelligence. The prototype is the brainchild of 1X, a company based in Norway and Silicon Valley.
You guys can see there's 1X, as we showed before. There's Agility, which is this robot here, as you can see. However, this seems to be more for kind of like work-related things. There's also this thing called Aptronic as well, which this project has apparently been working on for some time now. And these things are far along. Like, they're starting to work on things for like warehouses and stuff. It's way more developed than what Tesla bots are at right now. So yeah, once again, Tesla bots is not just the only type of robot that's being developed. But how do we exactly wrangle this topic back in with the Tesla robots, right? Well, let's talk about the thing that actually inspired me to make this video. Good old Kim Kardashian.
Okay, hi. Can you do this? I love you. You know how to do that? What should we do? Go running. Let's go for a run. Do you know how to do... Oh, you are Hawaiian.
Now, she obviously was given this stuff by Elon and Tesla, and her haul was something, I've gotta say. She got, I believe, at least 2 robots and an entire cybercar, complete with a robot Uber driver.
Hi, sir. Just kidding. Oh my God.
Why is bro manspreading so hard in the car? Like, golly, man. Now, as I said before, this was kind of the initial spark of me making this video because I got so interested in how advanced the technology was here. And it was also because of this tweet here that reported on Kim Kardashian and her little robot friends squad thing. So here it says, Kim Kardashian shares new photos holding hands with her Tesla robot. And then you can see here, there's one picture where, I don't know why Kim Kardashian looks like that. She looks like Bigfoot. I don't know what's going on there. And then here you see this beautiful picture, which is probably going to be the thumbnail, of her holding hands with the robot here. As I said before, any development with robots, you see right here, it's happening. Show it. It's right here. Show it. It's right here. Show it. Show it. Show it. And now the most important question in all of this is Kanye cooked? And I don't mean by nitrous.
Ryan Garcia, this Ye, I'm on the nitrous.
And yes, Kanye is 100% cooked. It's actually Jover. And honestly, lads, it might be Jover for us next. It's actually, it feels bad. So I think you guys get the point, right? We're rapidly advancing into the creation of robots and the self-autonomy of these guys. And a lot of these companies are promising that they'll be able to help us with regular chores around the house and stuff like that. But this brings us nicely into the sex part of the sex with robots tweet and how cooked we are in that aspect. Is doing the deed with them a possible thing and imminent to happen? Well, personally, I would say that it's maybe not as far-fetched as some of you may think at first. Well, I mean, we're actually kind of getting there with AI, where AI is actually starting to conversate with us in ways that feel real. For example, a few months back, there was actually this popular trend of streamers to actually talk with their AI on an AI program called Character.ai, which, according to Google AI, which is pretty ironic, it's pretty ironic considering the topic that we're covering. Character AI is a neural language model chatbot service that can generate human-like text responses and participate in contextual conversations. It allows users to create characters, craft their personalities, and set specific parameters, and then publish them to the community for others to chat with. So once again, very limited human involvement here. All you have to do is tap the parameters, and after that, the AI basically takes over from there. Now, obviously, people, when they had access to this technology, would go and do that with people like, once again, their favorite streamers, and that's where this trend started. And while watching these videos of them talking to their AI, it's actually scary how much it feels to actually be having real conversations with an actual person, but it's not an actual person, it's AI, you know what I'm saying?
What's up? Duke chuckles and smiles as he looks you up and down. You ain't never called me that. He leans in and caresses your cheek.
Bro, what the f is you talking about, dog? Why are you talking to yourself in third person?
Duke smirks and grabs you by the waist. He pulls you into his muscular chest and locks eyes with you. You know, if you keep running your mouth, Emma put it to good use.
It's weird because as I was watching these videos, I noticed that they not only responded to things that they were pretty much saying all the time, but even recalled previous points that a streamer would say and use later in that conversation. The only thing is the inflections are off, but other than that, it really does feel like they're having actual conversations with another person. And I don't know, while it's cool, as I said before, it is kind of unnerving, I'm not gonna hold you.
Chat, I use AI sometimes to come up with ideas and stuff like that. Like just to banter with, feel me? Like, no cap, like there's a lot of useful ways to use AI just in life, right? No funny shit, I have never seen an AI that smart. I'm not trolling. Most of the time, the chat GPTs and the bards, like the big tech companies that have AIs, they have a lot of rules in place to stop the AI from saying or doing anything that's unethical. Like, I can't ask the AI how to kill somebody, for example. They would say, literally, they would give you a helpline and say, stop, don't do it, This AI, no cap, obviously does not have any limiters. And I don't think it's smarter than the other AIs. I just think there's nothing stopping him. The other AIs, like Google, can't just scrape the internet and use shit from Facebook and this, that, the third, because they're gonna get sued. It wasn't like he was Googling shit and telling me things. He was having like a very intellectual conversation with me about things that are very difficult to Google, bro. He was referencing things we did earlier in the conversation. No cap, I felt like I was losing arguments to a bot.
Now, really, this whole thing of having a content creator AI isn't really new per se. There's actually a couple different times where people would use the power of AI and parasocialness to make this successful. This has been a thing even as far back as 2023, where a favorite of the Crispy Bacon channel and a face of the hot tub sitting community, Amaranth, who I've made a video about before, talking about how she turned her liquids into a way to sell to people, and has even done things like making a fart jar for her audience, which is like, why?
Tell us about the farts in a jar.
I just kept empty jars next to my toilet because, you know, when you gotta take a shit, you often have like a gas wall before. I just kept them there. You hold it up to your and you fart in it, and then you have to like kind of slide it. You have to keep that seal, and then you jar the lid really fast. I don't have to eat anything extra because my diet is half protein bars.
Oh God, man, that's disgusting. I hate it. Why? Well, basically, she made a post saying that she was actually thinking of making an AI clone version of herself back in like July of 2023, and she had achieved the goal later on. She released an AI chatbot that was basically a bot that mimicked her likeness and how she talks, and people that paid for the service would be getting exclusive images and videos. This service was so much of a success that she ended up raking in $34,000 in the first 24 hours of it being out. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like, in my opinion, that's not only very pathetic for the people that actually bought this stuff, but it's also like really dystopian when you think about it too. And it really ties into this whole having sex with robots thing that I mentioned before, because there's very clearly a market for it. And Amaranth definitely sees that too, as she apparently said that she was going to continue developing the AI until it was impossible to recognize it as a bot. That is just not healthy for the normal human brain. Like, why? And also, I mean, let's just keep it a fat sack. There's definitely a bunch of lonely dudes who would 100% smash robot coochie if the robot talked to them nicely enough. Honestly, if the robot says anything, they may smash them, like, if I'm being honest. And keep in mind, this is just going to be more information that people can definitely use to make these indistinguishable AIs that no one is going to be able to tell the difference of. There's actually another content creator named Suzu_JPEG who also introduced AI for her goonage to generate. So here we can see this tweet introducing Suzu.bot. Text, voice messaging, and hot photos are all possible and all made with consent. Don't waste time with Susu impersonators and scuff deepfakes when you can have high quality pictures in a scam-free experience. To be fair to her, she mentioned that the reason for her doing it was actually to combat shitty deepfakes. Also, when apparently you're talking to the AI, apparently it specifies that it is not the real thing. But regardless of the warnings and cautions, people are still going to develop some weird attachment with it. It's still dystopian in my eyes. Like, I can't unsee that. And I just want to kind of hammer this home because I didn't do this as much in the original video, but I really want to hammer home that I really am not a fan of this kind of stuff. And I'm not a fan of content creators that take advantage of people like that. Clearly, the people who sign up for these AI things, they're just like a bunch of lonely guys, and I just don't really like it that much. This is clearly an issue, and it's something that I'll get into a little later. I just wanted to say that I really don't like people who do this type of thing. I get it, like, it's ethical AI using, but it's kind of like ethical gambling. It's still gambling. gambling. Like it still has gambling in the name, and gambling is not good. This is not good either. I don't agree with it. As I said before, regardless if you put like a disclaimer on it, I still feel like it is unethical, and you probably just should not promote this in the first place. That's all I'm saying. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I do see it as predatory. I think it is kind of like a thing to target a certain demographic, which we all know the demographic, in order to get them to shell out money to pay for a service that will ultimately make them lonely. Honestly, I kind of compare this whole thing to the red pill stuff, with them like showing out courses for guys to shill to ultimately make their life better. This is kind of like the same thing, but kind of just like the other way around. People even compared it to a Black Mirror episode, which, I mean, are they wrong? Speaking of deepfakes, that's an entire other thing too, where mostly popular women in the industry get deepfakes made on them, which is an entire conversation in itself. But my point in bringing it up is that, once again, it wouldn't exist if there wasn't a market for this kind of stuff. And there is a huge market where people will sit there and take advantage of its technology. Famously, there was also this AI used of XQC, but that's less goonish and more just funny, I won't lie.
Core XX asks, is Earth flat?
Oh, dude. Listen, okay, listen, Wisek here, an absolute bonkers take. Earth flat, bro. Nah, man, see. Saman, bro, you're high on copium. It's jabbated nonsense. Absolute jabba-dude.
And then, as you guys know, there was the Kwebbelkop AI, which was like this huge thing with this huge YouTuber named Kwebbelkop, where he made his videos using a deepfake and AI and stuff. And guys, there's loads of examples to this, and I could keep going forever, but you get my point, which is that there's clearly a market of dudes that'll throw money to talk to an AI as long as it's perceived as real in some way, shape, or form. And it's funny because the people that support and contribute to all this stuff going on are the same people that'll whine and complain about incels and how there's so many of them nowadays that don't talk to girls at all. And it's like, I wonder why that is, buddy. I wonder. It's like me complaining about why I have so many weeds in my garden. Meanwhile, I'm pulling out my watering can out my ass and making them grow bigger. Anyways, though, realizing this and kind of looking at this, it made me realize something to myself. If guys are willing to shill out money to pay for AI because they're that lonely, what's stopping them from also purchasing a robot with basic communication skills, grown over time with how much it constantly speaks to people? I mean, you can't say that it's not possible. These dudes have like millions of dollars that they're willing to spend on just random OnlyFans girls. Imagine if they get that interaction, but then on top of the interaction, they also get to live with them like in person. And then being in close proximity combined with the improved AI that's improving over time due to the fact that companies are probably selling data like Character AI or whatever Amaranth is using, and they're selling those to other companies so they can incorporate it into their robots, thus making the robots smarter and thus being able to do more tasks and stuff. What is stopping people from wanting to have sex with them? Let's be completely honest. And once again, there is a profitable market that these guys see, and that's why you see so many like girlfriend AIs that are out. And maybe they're now, but it'll get better and better in a very short time span. And once again, the conversations that I think you'll be able to have with it are going to be uncanny and weird, but believable. And there are already examples of robot tech and AI working in tandem to create bots for people. Like, for example, a company that I was actually able to find during the editing of this video, a company called Realbotics, which as recently as October of 2024, which is only a couple of months ago, mind you, released these very uncanny bots that are literally designed to be replacements for having a partner or something along those lines.
Through that system, you can connect the AI that you've created in the app to the robot and carry on the conversation with her that way. Once you've got that loaded and you hit chat, she just comes to life.
Good you came back so fast, baby. I'm glad you came back that fast.
Even in their statement on their own site, they say that their goal is to create customizable, full-body, human-like robots with AI integration that improve the human experience through connection, learning, and play. And I'm just saying, the AI aspect of these things allow them to talk to people very similarly to how the character.ai works, where it remembers previous conversations and everything. I can easily see a dude getting this, even right now in its seemingly early phases. And I think all of these factors are combined with things like this gender war shit that's constantly constantly going on where both genders act like fucking losers and say the most hateful shit about the other. Now, once again, I hate these conversations. They all end up like completely cancer, and I don't like conversations like these, and I probably won't have them a lot on this channel. But the comments that I've seen to both guys and girls in the last couple years have been very disturbing, and it's only growing worse, not better. A big factor of that actually is this whole like election thing that happened, where if you guys don't know, the orange man won, and that definitely has divided people as well, with there being women that are pretty much swearing off of guys completely.
4B movement.
The 4B movement.
The 4B movement. So what is it? Actually, a fringe feminist campaign from South Korea. The 4Bs, Korean for 4 no's, no marrying men, no giving birth, no dating men, and no sex with men. Now, Google searches for 4B surging to record levels in the US as one of its top trending searches in the last 48 hours.
You know, even though that 40% of women came and did a lot of the heavy lifting of voting for the guy as well, but sure, only guys are the ones that voted for him. 100%, it was all guys' fault. True and based. Either way, I'm not getting into stuff like that. I don't want a conversation about that. I don't care. But let's just say that I think it's only gonna radicalize even more and become even worse. With girls not having sex with guys, obviously a lot of them are probably gonna just turn to robots, and guys not getting that sex with girls are probably going to also turn to robots. Miserable men, miserable women, everyone is just completely miserable. And this all leads back to the sex with robots thing, because since we're gonna constantly blame each other and never take accountability for anything that we do, where does that lead us? Well, that Sun article, damn it. We already have people that got married to an entire life-size doll. We have people in the world that is marrying a DS character from Love Plus. Hell, even an entire roller coaster named Bruce. I wish I was joking about that, honestly. Do I think that it's gonna happen in 2025? Maybe, but I definitely think the updated article is wrong, and I don't think women are gonna have more sex with robots than guys like it predicted. But I think that in the foreseeable future, there may be a reality that it's gonna get to a point where this thing that we all made fun of, which is having sex with robots, will become a reality. And where we go from there, man, I don't even wanna know, bro. I don't even wanna know. But either way, I just found this topic interesting, and it kind of grasps from multiple different topics. This whole thing's multi-layered, and it's really interesting, and I kind of had like a moment where my brain just like had this thing where I just wanted to talk about it. It's just really interesting. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and yeah, happy 2025. No, actually, no, I was kidding about all that 2025 stuff. I do wish the best for you guys in 2025. This will probably be one of the last videos. I don't want to keep it too long or whatever, but happy 2025. More videos to come. We're working on more videos, and I hope you guys enjoy. Bye.